Oh, welcome back. Believe it or not, it's already time for another payday routine. For some reason, I feel like when the days get shorter, time just feels like it's really sped up. So this snuck up on me a little bit, if I'm being honest. But this payday, I brought home $4,867.07. Every single time that I get paid, I like to take my paycheck, stick it into the software that you see on screen, and then use it to give every single dollar a job. Out of this paycheck, $0 came out as far as automatic investments, and my partner contributed $920 to our joint expenses because we split things proportionately. And that gets us to our total of $5,787.07 to budget. Okay, first things first, I have 5 overspent categories for the current month. It's been a little bit spendier than I anticipated, but I'm actually going to move over to December 1st to fund what we need to prepare for the very beginning of December. And then we'll come back and figure out how we're going to cover the spending that I've already done in these categories. All right, so in December, we have not assigned any money and we are underfunded by a lot. I'll get to this later, probably in the next video. So this number looks really massive, but there's just some funky things going on at the moment that will be resolved shortly. But anyway, we want to start with fixed costs. These are the expenses that you have to pay every single month. Things like your rent, utilities, any car payments or debt payments, things that have to come out, as well as like food, things that you need to actually survive and get through the month. So I want to cover what's going to come out on the first, and that would be my rent, our building storage, our garage that we pay for our car, and then also building utilities, which all comes out as a part of my rent payment on the first. I'm going to hit underfunded over here, and that will take care of all of these amounts by assigning the appropriate amount to each category. And that total is $3,855. So now we don't have to worry about rent at all. I'm going to go down also to my active services and cover the active services that come out at the beginning of the month. So for me, that's my phone. I pay my parents $60 a month to pay for my portion of the family plan. Netflix for $27, premium connectivity, which is my car's data plan for $11, Paramount Plus, which we are currently subscribed to, and that's $14 a month, and then Prime Video, no ads, is $4 a month. So that total is $116, and I'll hit underfunded there. Great. And then, so we've covered like the bills that are coming out at the start. Oh, we're missing one actually. If I go down to debt payments, I owe on my 2024 income taxes. So I need to set aside $300 a month. That comes out on the first for that. I also have a student loan that I'm paying now that interest is accruing for those who are enrolled in the SAVE plan. I'm going to hold off on assigning any money there. I have been just paying $2,000 a month toward this, but I will hold off on that now and fund that in a later video. And I'm saying that because this is a payment that I can control and I can set my own due date on. There are no payments due for anyone who's currently enrolled in SAVE. So it's kind of up to us to make payments as we see fit for the next 2 years. Okay, so I think we're good with the bills. I'm just going to set aside some money for food. And I'm going to go to the all view just because this has all of my different food categories. I am going to set aside $125 for meal kit because we set aside $125 each week. So that'll cover the first week of December. Then for groceries, I will just set aside. Do you know what? I actually think I'm going to hold off on these categories for a second. Let's go back to November and then let's go to the overspending that we have. So first I'm going to take care of takeout and delivery because that's one that I didn't actually end up funding fully. I have a target here to refill up to $1,400 each month, and you can see I only set aside $885. So let me go ahead and fully fund that, and that'll take care of the spending there. And then Apple TV, I decided to subscribe to that because I wanted to watch Pluribus, which is like a really interesting show. The concept is really interesting. I'm curious to see how the execution will be because I'm not someone that really got into Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. I don't know, something about those shows didn't make me super interested after like the first episode, but this one I'm sort of hooked on so far, so we'll see how it goes. But anywho, that's 12:36, I guess. And so that has come out. I funded it a little bit with some change that I found in the budget, but I will fund that full amount there. And then I did end up doing some guilt-free spending. I ended up buying 2 Rhode pocket blushes that I wanted to try. I just, like, had been holding off for months and I couldn't resist. So I did end up purchasing those, and then I restocked some personal care items. So first I'll take care of the guilt-free spending, and then personal care is one as well that I did not fill up fully for this month. I planned to set aside $150, but I only set aside half of that. So let me just fully fund that, and that'll cover the overspending there. Okay. And then meal kit, I did overspend on, and that is because this month is Thanksgiving. We're gonna be home for Thanksgiving, and I decided to order catering from a local restaurant. And so I did that, and then I'm going to skip um, the meal kit for the week of Thanksgiving. Anywho, I need to like shuffle things around to make this work. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I will cover this 138.12, but then we need, I think our next meal kit order that comes out for December will be charged. I'll double check that. But so I think that one is going to be a little bit less because I decided that we probably are gonna like have leftovers from Thanksgiving. So just like not gonna order a full week. And so I think that's gonna be about $60. And that takes care of all of that. Let me just open this back up again in November. In guilt-free spending, okay, oh yes, I made a change from the last video. So I looked at our average spending on coffee, and even though we have been making coffee at home primarily since we ordered an espresso machine, there have been instances where someone has gotten coffee out and about. And so I just looked at our average for the last 3 months, and I feel like I have a um, more accurate spending estimate for us month over month, and it looks like we're closer to 150 than $50. So I did increase this target from $50 to 150. So I will just add that remaining $10 here, and that gets us, maybe a couple more stops at a coffee shop. Okay, so just looking at fixed costs in November, we are fully funded. Looking at savings in November, that's fully funded as well, and so is guilt-free spending. So we're good there. Flipping back over to December now. I think I will go ahead and open up, like I said, this all view, and I will assign 1 week's worth of meal kits for $125 there. I think I will set aside maybe $75 for groceries. I don't need $100 for meals at work. Maybe $75 for meals at work as well. Let's do 50 for coffee, and we'll just do 320 for takeout and delivery to get us started for next month. Yeah, that is it. So I think with this remaining 59 cents, I will go ahead and put that in holding. I will see you in the next video where we'll be budgeting out some larger amounts. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.